Hi, this is Kat and Freya, and welcome to Kat Makes Knits. Today we answer the age-old question, Team Dean, Team Jess, or Team Logan? You'll have to wait till the end to find out my answer, and it might surprise you. Before we dive into all the Gilmore Girls inspired patterns, I wanted to talk a little bit about what I'm wearing today. I am wearing the Dormice vest by Homebody Handknits, and I love this vest. It's actually knit out of Lopi Light, and I got this yarn from an incredible local yarn store to me called Silver Creek Cabin in Buffalo, Minnesota. I'm just pointing because it's over there, not too far away. And I absolutely fell in love with this color. And it is kind of a bright, we were trying to figure out, I was talking to my students last trimester where I said, vote, is this red or is this pink? It was very divisive. I think it's kind of like a warm salmony pink leaning red, but a lot of people thought it was truly red. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But it is a little toasty for this, so I've got the AC running inside. But I just wanted to show off, this is probably the second larger garment I made after my step-by-step sweater, and I still really love it. And I think that the subtle texture and that rib detail is really beautiful. And I ended up doing a folded down collar and a hem because, again, I was learning along the way. So I was doing a couple new techniques. And yeah, I'm still very happy with this. And I would totally reknit this even in like a different yarn. I think it's really fun. It's kind of like a staple. So that is my Dormice vest by Homebody Handknits. All right. So we are going to launch into our pattern roundup. And I apologize, I'm gonna have to look at my computer to reference some of the patterns because I can't memorize 20 patterns. That would be super impressive. If anyone can do that, let me know some of your strategies because I have not figured that out yet. So the first designer I wanna start with is Andrea Gaughan. And Andrea has a beautiful collection of patterns available. And all of these patterns are gonna be rounded up in my Knit the Look Gilmore Girls bundle on Ravelry if you wanna check it out. But let's start first with the front porch pullover. Well, as we know, the Gilmore Girls spend a lot of time on their front porch, and so I thought, what better way to kick off this pattern roundup by finding this front porch pullover by Andrea. And she has knit hers up in a beautiful dusty orange, very fall color, which is wonderful for this time of year that we're heading into. And it is just a really beautiful, basic sweater. It would be a staple in anybody's wardrobe. It's light fingering and lace held together for a DK weight, and it is just beautiful. She said she wanted it to be kind of like a favorite sweatshirt combined with a thoughtful hand knit, and I think she totally achieved that. It's really boxy, comfortable, it's worked top down, you can wear it cropped or standard length. It is gorgeous. And something I realized when I was trying to figure out some good patterns for this Gilmore Girls roundup is that there are a lot of wonderful basics in Gilmore Girls, and I feel like that 90s, early knots, they really did have a lot of streamlined classics. Sometimes the colors are very of the time, but there were a lot of really beautiful basic staples. And so I definitely wanted to include one of those in my roundup here today. Another fantastic pattern by Andrea is her Sassafras pullover. It's knit up in this beautiful, almost like snap pea green. And if that doesn't scream 90s, I don't know what does, because this sweater has fantastic ribbing detail, really pronounced ribbed like panels on the bottom almost. And it looks like straight out of a Gap ad from the early 2000s, which I absolutely love. You could totally see Lane wearing this on a hayride with a future Korean doctor. And it is just, again, a staple. I think Andrea really tackles staples quite well. So this is a worsted weight sweater. She knit hers up in knitting for olive heavy merino. And yeah, it is gorgeous. And her sizing, as always, is really inclusive. I really tried to make a point of finding patterns and designers that were inclusive with their sizing, because I just think that's super important. Let's look at the third Andrea one. We've got her Bloodroot tee. This is a recent release from March of 2026. And again, Andrea just nails modern meets 90s so well. This is a beautiful ribbed t-shirt, and it's kind of got a little bit of a longer sleeve, and I absolutely love her striped version. I felt like that was, again, the epitome of 90s, And when we're looking at it, it just looks like, again, straight off the set. Maybe an extra in the background is wearing this at Luke's Diner. Totally could see it. So it is an absolutely gorgeous pattern. Let me see how many projects she has so far. 204. It's pretty popular for March. She's just killing it. She's bringing out so many awesome patterns right now. In one of my Instagram Media Makes posts, I actually had one of Andrea's cabled pullovers listed as sort of like a Rory first episode of season 1 sweater lookalike. And I'll give an honorable mention. Sari Nordlund actually knit a Rory-inspired sweater as well as a couple of other people on Ravelry. But I wanted to do something a little different. So Andrea has a wonderful cardigan called the Dogwood cardigan. And she has knit hers up in Durarum Natura Ulysses. And it is a sport weight sweater cardigan, and it is gorgeous. Just really simple, classic cable details. And I think it could be, you know, worn in Stars Hollow. Maybe you're in the hallways at Chilton. This is just a classic for a reason. And you know, honestly, Emily Gilmore might rock this too. It's just that classic. So I really think this is absolutely gorgeous. And again, Andrea is just rocking it. So those are my 4 Andrea Gaughan picks to knit the look for Gilmore Girls. The next designer I want to talk about, no surprise, is Lily Kate France. Now, when you think of elegant, refined, private school in the Northeast, you think of Lily Kate France, at least I do. And so my first pick from her is the Josephine top. It is this gorgeous DK weight, all over ribbed kind of tank with a cap sleeve. It is just screaming old world elegance. And I just think she's just such a classy pattern designer. This could be worn by really anybody on the set. I think especially if we're thinking about the Yale years, I could totally see somebody in Rory's dorm wearing this before the big dorm party. And it is just absolutely gorgeous and fantastic. She knit hers in a cashmere merino silk. Need I say more? Super, super gorgeous pattern. The next one I chose is sort of like a trip to the Cape. It's the Movement Tee by Lily Kate France. And this has gorgeous, gorgeous detailing on this beautiful t-shirt. It's also a DK weight. It is knit up in Sanascarn Duo for her sample, and I just love the nautical vibes. I feel like it would be totally perfect if they were going to Nantucket or Martha's Vineyard. It would fit right in. She's got this beautiful kind of, I guess it would be like a rib detail. It looks almost like broken up with some maybe like pearl ridges to make the stripes a little bit offset in her sample. And I just think that that attention to detail really makes this elegant and striking. The third pattern I picked is actually a hat. There's some really good knit hats in Gilmore Girls. And so I picked the Wild Hat by Lily Kate France as the third pattern from her. And it is this gorgeous, again, DK, beautiful cabled beanie. And I just think that this is perfect for cozying up at the Harvard versus Yale game. It is absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to just double check what she knit hers up in. It looks like it's Delana La Madrilana DK, which is gorgeous. This was a January 2026 release, so pretty recent. And there are only 14 projects. So let's go and give this pattern some love and knit some more Wild Hats by Lily Kate France. It is perfect for the upcoming fall and winter season. My fourth pick from Lily Kate France is actually the Over It Slipover. And if you've seen this pattern before, there are 147 projects, so some of you have. This is absolutely stunning. It's an older pattern. It was published in October of 2022. It's a worsted weight, and it's beautiful. It has this gorgeous like silhouettes, these oversized armhole size. We've got a beautiful cable detail running along the side to really, you know, highlight the silhouette. She's worn hers with both kind of like a turtleneck and just sort of that sort of oval shaped neckline, and both of them are gorgeous. And again, I was thinking this is sort of like pre-debutante ball, hanging out, waiting for your Harvard acceptance letter to arrive kind of look. It is chic. That's the only word I can really think to describe this. This is just gorgeous, timeless elegance. So those are my 4 picks from Lily Kate France if you want to knit the look for Gilmore Girls. My next designer that I picked, if you want to knit the look, is Sonja Mei Leung, and she has absolutely gorgeous patterns. She was more my nod to the 90s and early odds when we were thinking about patterns from Gilmore Girls. And so the first one I picked is the lettuce sweater. Now, we all know the chokehold that the lettuce hem had on us in the early 2000s, and so I had to include this. You could totally see Miss Patty or even Paris rocking this when she's coming to investigate the seedy underbelly of Stars Hollow. And I absolutely love this beautiful chartreuse green that Sonja Mei knit up with this because it is just beautiful. And she also has a really neat navy blue one with sort of like a pop of color on the lettuce hem. So it really highlights that design detail, and I think it's just absolutely stunning. She knit hers up in Ice Yarns Bonito, and it is a DK weight. This was published in March of 2026, and there are currently 27 projects. But I just think this one is so fun, especially if you love 90s style, or maybe you have an event coming up where a nod to the 90s would be perfect. Highly recommend the lettuce sweater. The next design I picked by her is the Sakura skirt, and that is knit up in Garden Studio Drops Daisy, which is a super affordable yarn. It's a worsted weight, and it is this really fun pleated skirt. And I thought, of course, immediately of Chilton's uniform when I picked out this top, or not top, excuse me, I was looking at the top, the skirt. And I just think it is absolutely gorgeous. It could be such a staple worn with tights or leggings if maybe you don't want to wear just as a mini skirt. But I think this is really, really fun. And she said like a DK or a light worsted would work well for this. And I think this is just, wouldn't that just be so fun for the fall? Go ahead and check out the Sakura skirt if you're looking for a fun knit skirt design. The next kind of 90s inspired top, this is totally Lorelei, is the Pluto top. It's got these fun rolled neckline details. It is just such a classic 90s fit. She's got a few different versions where sleeveless, long sleeve, and they would all fit into the world of Stars Hollow just so, so well. And I love the different yarn she knit the samples up, and they're so fun, especially that purple. It's a sport weight pattern, released in July of 2026. So there are only 19 projects so far, but I think the numbers are going to rise significantly once we get into that fall and winter season. And it is just gorgeous. It's a fitted top-down raglan and stockinette. So it's a really fun project if you're looking for something where you have a lot of stockinette to knit, because you know we always love to have a project like that where we can just pick it up and run with it. So that is the Pluto top by Sonja Mei Leung. And last but not least by her fourth one I chose is the Ringo top. Love the name, amazing. This is knit up in Garden Studio Drops Saffron, sport weight. So again, I love that some of the samples are knit up in really affordable yarn and really accessible to us in a lot of parts of the world. I usually buy mine from Wool Warehouse if I'm trying to get some drops yarn. Let me see here. This is a beautiful cable pattern tank top. It is absolutely stunning. Again, that really big ribbed bottom section is so reminiscent of the 90s to me. And I just felt like this was the perfect blend of that, you know, elegant cable detail meeting that early 2000s and really summed up kind of Gilmore Girls in a top. So that's why I chose this as the fourth one. It's a cotton camisole with a repeating cable motif, a square neckline, and a fitted silhouette. And I think the Ringo top would be a perfect pick if you wanted to knit the look for Gilmore Girls. I couldn't do a Gilmore Girls style pattern roundup without mentioning Hailey Smedley, otherwise known as Ozetta. When you're looking for a classic staple, Ozetta is really one of the first places people start on Ravelry. And so I picked 4 looks from her that I thought would really fit well in the Gilmore Girls universe. The first pick is the Rhodes sweater. Now this is a worsted weight, really classic, gorgeous sweater. I felt like it could fit into any different part of the Gilmore Girls world. It's a staple. And I really think Hailey said it the best. She said that it is a timeless classic featuring understated yet eye-catching details. Constructed top-down and shaped with German short rows, it features rolled edges at the hem and cuffs that complement the detail on the back. And if you've ever looked at Ozetta's patterns, some of the back detailing is what's the standout piece. And I just absolutely love the details that she includes in these classic staples. My second pick from Ozetta is the Shoreline Tee. And this is a DK weight t-shirt, and she knit hers up in Lamana Como cashmere. And it is absolutely gorgeous. Sorry if you heard some scurrying. My cat is doing some zoomies right now. And it is just gorgeous. The Shoreline Tee has this beautiful, subtle textured pattern, and it would fit right in on an Ivy League campus and also on the beach. It's just stunning. It's just a kind of oversized fit. There's sort of this like, short rows. Let me see what she calls it. A cable motif. Yeah. That adds texture. And she says it doesn't compromise on the drape. And I would totally agree. There's a saddle shoulder and these beautiful, wavy cables. I mean, it's soothing to look at. And it really is very elegant. It screams old money. It's gorgeous. This one's a little on the nose, but I had to include it. This is the Nantucket sweater by Ozetta, and it is a worsted weight sweater. She knit hers in Barocco Ultra Alpaca, and the navy and white, those crisp, high contrast stripes really sell the sweater for me. People have done some absolutely gorgeous projects as well with some color blocking. Super fun. I just think that it's everything. The sleeves, the way it drapes, it is just stunning. I would love to knit this. I think the flock pullover has pulled out a little bit ahead of this one for me, but the Nantucket sweater, I could totally see knitting this in my future. It's absolutely stunning. So if you haven't checked it out yet, go take a look on Ravelry. Gorgeous. All right, the last showing for Ozetta is the Miles shirt jacket. This is an Aran weight. It's a little bit of an older pattern for her. It came out in April of 2022, but if you go back and look at some of the footage or photo stills from Gilmore Girls, you'll see that there are a lot of super long line cardigans. Again, that was very early 2000s. Sookie rocks a lot of those. And if you're also looking for Sookie kind of specific patterns, Woozy by Celine, she's also kind of like an honorable mention. She's done some beautiful Sookie-inspired patterns. But the Miles shirt jacket by Ozetta, it is gorgeous. And I think that this is almost more of like a coat, like a coatigan. And it would just fit in so beautifully. If you wanted to lean into those 90s vibes, I'm thinking of the picnic basket episode where Sookie is wearing like that big purple cardigan. And if you wanted to do this in like a bright purple, that could be super fun. And that is my last pattern from Ozetta. Those are my 4 picks for if you want to knit the look for Gilmore Girls. Last, but certainly not least, I picked Alicia Plummer. And in some ways, this is who sort of kicked it all off for me. What I love about Alicia's designs is they're wearable, they're timeless, and you feel like you can live your life in them. She also has a lot of fantastic patterns for both masculine and feminine fits, and some of them are almost unisex too, which I really appreciate. I have a couple of her patterns in my library, and I'd love to knit a sweater that my husband and I can both wear, kind of swap it out. I think that would be super fun. But the patterns I picked for Alicia, the first one is the Lauren. It looks like Ralph Lauren, and it is absolutely stunning. It is a worsted weight, and she knitted up in Brooklyn Tweed Shelter and Mountain Meadow Wool Jackson. And this was a March 2026 release, so also, again, fairly recent. And I think it is gorgeous. It's got a mock turtleneck. It is almost like a Henley, but if a Henley had like a little bit of a higher collar, it's very unique. And I love the buttons. You could have so much fun choosing the yarn and pairing some fun buttons with it. But this is just absolutely, I'm going to throw this on and go walk along the shoreline. It is absolutely stunning. And you know what? If you have a diamond tennis bracelet that would pair well with this too, that'd be great. So that's the Lauren, and I absolutely love this. So now when I'm thinking of like a Christopher Hayden or a Luke Danes, I'm thinking Route 1 by Alicia Plummer. I absolutely love the blue that she knit up in some of her samples. And this is just like rugged, classic, masculine fit sweater. And it is a DK weight. She knit hers up in Durarum Natura Gilead. And it is so fun. She says, if you've ever been to Maine or dreamed of it, Route 1 is a famous drive that winds along the state's edge, bordered by dramatic cliffs and sparkling blue ocean. It's not the fastest way to get there from here, but it is a classic. It winds through small coastal fishing towns, past weathered fishing shacks covered in buoys and rocky beaches. The further north you go, the more relaxed it gets. Oh my gosh, is she a poet as well as a pattern designer? Holy moly. Again, classic, wonderful fit. Anyone would be lucky to have this in their wardrobe. And again, a little on the nose, but can you blame me? I have the 90s in my pattern library, and holy moly, is this screaming Gilmore Girls. This is like Lane and Rory listening to CDs in her room, hanging out with this fun rolled neckline, and it's just a classic. I mean, the opportunities are endless for this bulky weight sweater. You could have really a lot of fun too, making it kind of scrappy. She knit hers up in Camaro Snefnug, and I think it's gorgeous. This is a January 2026. There are already 215 projects, so I think it's going to be a staple for a long time to come. Rounding out this pattern roundup, is The Finest Kind by Alicia Plummer. And again, this is the one where I was saying, I might try to knit this so my husband and I can both wear it. She knit up her sample in Harrisville Design Sheer Wellscroft Dorset Aran. Ooh, that is a fancy and long name. And like I said, I think it's an Aran weight. And she said that is her Rhinebeck sweater for 2025, so last year. And she said it's for every single body. And every single body, everybody and everybody. I love this. Again, I bought it, right? So it is absolutely stunning. You could have so much fun with this. I think that knitting it in like a neutral that would really just be a staple and sort of like a family heirloom would be wonderful. I love that Alicia's so focused on not only being size inclusive, but having the same fit for every body. And so she had to be included in my Gilmore Girls Knit the Look pattern roundup because frankly, she just really embodies a lot of the Gilmore Girls spirit. Well, that's it for me today for the pattern roundup. But as promised, I will let you know if I am Team Dean, Jess, or Logan. My answer is very specific. I am Team Jess, but I am not Team High School Jess. I am Team Jess who works for an independent publisher Jess because I really, especially with Logan, I just feel like Logan was not the good fit for her. And Jess had grown into himself and he was so much more mature. And I just felt like he was such a good match for Rory at the end of season, 5, 6. And I just stand by that. So you can argue with me in the comments, but just know that I really think that I'm right. Let me know what team you're on, what pattern you would make. And as always, stay safe, have a great day, and thanks for spending a little time with me.